Yeah, so I grew up just like really connecting with like folk music and story, like narrative based songwriting. And so I've always just like been super connected to people who just like play guitar and, write simple songs. And with American Romance, I just wanted to write about, where I'm from. I'm from like the middle of the country in the States, which is kind of like a little boring, a little depressing sometimes. So I just wanted to try to give, you know, a little snapshot into like where I'm from and what it was like growing up there. I started writing the songs for the EP. A lot of them came from, I was in a band before I decided to go solo, and a lot of them were songs that I had kind of like set aside in the band that I was like saving for like a more simple style, like a more folk music kind of vibe. And so like Scared to Start is like 4 years old, and then a couple of the other of the songs were written in the past like 6 months. So a wide stretch, but um, I've been thinking a while about trying the solo thing and going and writing folk music. Yeah, I don't know really why I decided. I didn't have like too good of a reason. I just thought that like I really like when artists and bands like have consistency with like all of their artwork and stuff. And so the first picture I released was black and white, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just stick with it now. I didn't really have too much thought behind it, but I also don't like when it's just like a really boring photograph of just like a guy with a guitar. And so I wanted to like change it up, and that's why I like blurred out my face just to try to be a little different. Like the creative process behind the music. Yeah, I just I live alone, and I just try to like pick at my guitar almost every night. I try to just keep writing melodies and coming up with new songs. It's like I really, really enjoy the process of songwriting. And usually like the melodies and the music come before the lyrics. But yeah, I'm always, writing down ideas and like humming stupid things into my iPhone, trying to remember melodies later on. But yeah, I really enjoy just songwriting in general. And I think that like being able to write lyrics from a personal place is a really powerful thing in my life. It can be. It's sometimes hard to like, come up with like how close you want to be, or like how personal lyrics you want to write. You don't want to write things that are like too broad, but you also like don't want to write things that are like way too personal. So it can be tough sometimes to try to find the balance between, like writing songs and bringing people into your world, but also, not being weird. No, not at all. I've been completely just blown away by the success of Scared to Start. I'm from the middle of the country, and it's definitely not like as cool as the coast, like LA or New York or anything like that. So I never thought in a million years that like my song would ever get played outside of my own hometown, let alone like a different country. Like the fact that I'm here in Spain right now, I have to like pinch myself, because again, it's all felt like a dream. The past couple months have felt like an amazing dream that I'm just trying to enjoy it and not take it for granted, and just like have fun with it. I go back and forth, because it's the oldest song, like it's the song that I wrote the longest ago. So I remember when I first wrote it, I remember really liking it, and then I kind of like put it away for a few years. But then I remember texting my manager and being like, I'm thinking like about recording some like new songs and more of like the style that I want to be in. And I remember him texting me. I have like a screenshot on my phone of him texting me and being like, you need to record Scared to Start. That's like the best song you've ever written. So I've had a few people tell me that they've liked it and like that it was their favorite song that I was writing. But again, I never would have thought that like that any of my songs would become successful or have any kind of global reach, or any kind of success. So it's definitely like humbling and exciting. Yeah, I'm going on tour next week. I'm doing like 4 weeks throughout Europe, which is going to be so cool, because a bunch of countries I've never been to before that I'm really excited to check out. And then I have a little break, and then I'm coming back home to the States and doing a month-long headline tour there. And then for the rest of the year, hopefully playing some like festivals, might go to Australia, we'll see. And yeah, recording more music. I want to release, some more singles this year, and hopefully that all leads to an album coming up here soon. going to London and playing a show. I had never been before in my life, and it kind of was like a last second thing, like, hey, the song's doing really well in the UK, like, let's go over and play a show and see if anybody comes out. And so I wasn't really expecting a whole lot. I was expecting just like a small, really tiny show and a few people to show up, but the first show I played over there was like a 450 cap room, and it sold out. And I remember like people just like singing along to the songs, and it just was like a really like pinch me moment where I thought that like I never again would have imagined that people would be singing the lyrics back to me on stage or even coming out to the show. So it was like a dream come true, and probably one of my favorite shows I've ever played in a night that I'll never forget. That was that was just like back home. There's a girl that works for Warner in the U.S. that like helps out with social media, and she was like, "You're playing with a band now. Like you should introduce the rest of the guys." And she's like, "Just do it in a goofy way." So we just like came up with the idea to make it look like the Full House theme song, and the guys in the band bought in and thought it was funny. And they're some of like the best people I know. It's been really fun getting to like travel around with people who are like my best friends. So it's been really fun, and they're really goofy, and we'll commit to any joke. Yeah. Thank you so much.